Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN. I'm here today to bring you some more Rift coverage, and today we're looking at a rogue leveling build. This is for mid to high levels. Specifically, we're talking about Bladedancer, Assassin. And the third spec's a little open, but I'll talk about that later. But anyway, before I get to anything complicated, I just want to show you what it's like to fight one. Now this is a stealth build, so I am going to open from stealth and then go from there. This is my single target killing speed against even level mob. It's a full health mob, 3,400 health, which is remarkably similar to how much health I have. It's a difference of 10. It's kind of funny. Let's see, that's a half health mob. I think that is 2. No, that's a full health mob. Some enemies have half health and half experience, and that's fine if you're AoEing. They just die really easily, but not great for a demonstration. Yeah, so that's another single target. And that's about the killing speed you can expect. It's pretty nice if it's executed right. Here's a half. This is a half health guy, so obviously he's gonna just basically melt. Yeah. Yeah, very efficient. Now here's a great example of if you don't get the jump on him, and one of my 10-second cooldowns is even not available. But yeah, it still goes that fast. I can really, chain pull a lot of people endlessly with this build. Just about endlessly. I eventually run out of health, but I have consumables and stuff on hand, of course. Also have a stun, which I haven't been using properly. Yes, there it goes. And you see my energy refill instantly when I killed him. I'll talk about that too. And before I go into the spec, I do want to find a multi-pull here. Show you my technique for doing like 3. I don't want to fight this wisp because he's ranged, so I'm going to sap him. Incapacitate. There we go. I'm going to stun this guy in order to get a buff. Charge this one. Let's get this half health guy in there, and that'll be fine. So now that I've got 3, I'm going to use, you see I'm doing lots of AoE damage. My health is dropping but not fast. I'm not even using my stun properly. There we go, and he died from the incidental damage. So that's how about 2 or 3 goes with no cooldowns. I use no cooldowns for that kill. And I'm gonna find a bigger group. I don't really have to drink this often. I just I usually use cooldowns when I kill multiple enemies. I just want to show you what that looked like. So let's go 1. It's a savage, right? Okay, good. This looks like a good 4, and this is gonna be crazy. Oh, here we go. I'll just do these 4 instead. That's even better. Let's do a werewolf, another werewolf, another savage. Here they go. All right, watch this. This is dancing blades. Once every 2 minutes, I can destroy a whole field of enemies. That was just 4. I've done like 6, 7, 8. It's freaking ridiculous. And my buff is still up, so I can kill this guy decently quick. Oh, it's down, and it's pretty much down and I charged in. But yeah, so once every 2 minutes, you got a cooldown combo that looks like that. So let me get to a safe spot and actually show you what these abilities are. And after that, I will do some more killing and narrate the names of the abilities so you'll understand the rotation and all that. But I have to get to safety first. Alright, so let's stealth and hide here. Okay, so first of all, you probably want to know what the hell that AoE was. It was a combination of 2 skills. The first one is Sidesteps, which is a free ability you get for Bladedancer. If you're level on a rogue, you're probably familiar with this. It's just like the rogue evasion in WoW. But thanks to a talent here, Blade Hustle, which increases the duration of rhythmic abilities, it's 21 seconds instead of 15 seconds, which is a lot. With this up, I have something like a 65 or 70% dodge chance, and you get so many bonuses when you dodge that it just makes this really powerful. It's like your best cooldown by far. So with that keeping me alive and giving me bonuses, I then use Dancing Steel. This is your Bladestorm-esque. It's channeled, but you can move while it's going, and it basically just hits everyone around you for some fairly obscene damage. Now, I can do even more damage with this if I use Blade Tempo instead. But because of the whole system with rhythmic abilities, you can't use more than one at the same time, and this is considered rhythmic, so I have to choose either Sidesteps or Blade Tempo. And Blade Tempo, of course, that increases my damage, but I would probably get owned by those 4 enemies hitting me at once without the dodge. Well, I don't know. I could probably take 4, but more than that's very questionable. I've had many pulls where I had like 5 or 6 enemies down to like 10% when I died because I just couldn't last long enough to kill them. So the basic idea behind this build you saw is a stealth build. The build around stealth attacking. As well as having some other great abilities for getting into battles. You have the Riftstalker Blink, and then you have Flash of Steel, which is the Bladedancer Charge. So lots of mobility. Plus you can come in with stealth. You have, unlimited stealth thanks to having 21 points in Assassin. And then you open with Paralyzing Strike, there it is, aka Cheap Shot. And just gives you 2 combo points, does a little bit of damage, and stuns the enemy. When they come out of stun, you can stun them again with Foul Play. And when they come out of that, you can stun them again with Disengage. So 3 stuns, and I barely used them in that demonstration, but in PvP especially, or against any kind of really tough target, it's a must-have. I was just mashing buttons on those, as I do very frequently. But anyway, this build, now there is a problem with this build. Not with it now, but when you're lower level, it has a lot of problems in that Bladedancer has very poor survivability. It has one of the worst survivabilities of any of the trees, because it has all these defensive abilities like quick reflexes, which has extra dodge, but you have to invest so much in those, and they barely do anything. The other one is, where's False Blade? False Blade gives you another 5% dodge from a buff, and then you can have this talent and also have some parry. But you see, the amount of survivability you get out of that is really not going to change anything, and you have to sacrifice 7 points for that, and you have to use a weak finisher. So I don't really endorse this build as by itself. You have to have some kind of sub build to support it to keep yourself alive. And my choice here is Assassin, and the reason all comes down to this talent right here, Leeching Poison, which causes you to heal yourself when you hit. And it's a lot. It is a very significant amount. Now, the other way you can go is get 13 in Riftstalker for Rift Scavenger. And this is a really popular build in like the mid-30s because it's a lot easier to get 13 points than it is 20 points in an off-spec. But the problem with Rift Scavenger is if you don't kill anything, it doesn't do anything. So if you pull like 5 or 6 enemies, they're probably going to kill you before you get your first kill, before you get your heal. With Leeching Poison, you're healing constantly. Every single hit from Dancing Steel has a chance to proc your poison and heal you. Now, I did some grinding in my late 30s with Bladedancer's Riftstalker, and I was grinding against enemies about 2 levels lower. And I felt that worked really well because the enemies did where the damage was low enough that I was able to survive it. And once you get your first kill, you're basically there because you can keep building those combo points on stuff and it will die, and then the next one you get 5 combo points, it'll die, and every time you get like 30% of your health back. So once you manage to survive like the opening, then you're basically good to go. But as soon as I went up against enemies of my equal level, or God forbid higher, I just couldn't survive long enough. So I don't really endorse this Rift Scavenger build. In my early to mid 30s, I probably wouldn't go with Bladedancer, since there's no way to get these crucial 22 points, or at least 20 points in Assassin, and get full Bladedancer. There's just no way to do it. However, at level 40, you do have 53 total points, which allows you to do 22 Assassin and 31 Bladedancer. So if you were to cut 8 points out of this build I have here, the first thing I would do is knock out this passive dexterity. The actual amount of damage you gain from this is it's significant, but it's also 5 points, and it's not nearly as much when you're lower level. After all, it's a percentage of your dexterity, and you don't have that much of it at low level. And so the actual total amount of attack power and crit you get out of it is it's not nothing. It's just that there's so many other talents that are so much better, and it's so difficult to do this build. I'll give you an example. I mean, if you were to put points in here, you'd have to take points out of, say, Deadly Dance. This gives you a massive damage increase after every deadly strike. Combat Efficiency gives you a massive amount of energy, which is very crucial for fighting lots of mobs. Combat Culmination, this is that thing that makes your energy regenerate instantly when you kill people. The energy you get back is based on your combo points, plus you also gain a bonus to critical hit, dodge, and parry, so obviously you're going to take this one. 10%, because you parry or dodge at least once per 10 seconds, this is basically a permanent 10% damage bonus, which is a lot more than Ambidextrous gives you. Blade Tempo, obviously, you can't pass. Contra Tempo, this is super, super important. It gives you tons and tons of extra combo points, which is just wonderful. And it goes so well with sidesteps that you just have to get this one. You can't pass it up. And then you go up here, a passive 10% damage bonus all the time, of course. Blade Hustle, again, the extra 6 seconds on sidestep. So when you come down to it, you're like, what else can you take out? There's nothing worse than Ambidextrous. Not because Ambidextrous is bad, it's just because there's just nothing worse. Everything in here is really, really good. Now after that, I said that your goal was 31 points, so you have to get rid of another 3. It's not easy. I mean, you could pass on Blade Hustle, maybe. Or maybe Deadly Dance. These are maybe Combat Efficiency. It's going to be one of these 3, probably. The rest, I mean, you could, nickel and dime it by taking out, like, Sprint and Flash of Steel, but I mean these are really useful abilities, life-saving abilities. Being able to sprint away from the enemy, when you're being chased for 21 seconds. That's really nice. I'll probably take out Combat Efficiency. I'm not sure, but I didn't actually spec into this build until like level 42 or 43, so I was able to get everything except Ambidextrous right away. The other option you could do is just dump Assassin completely and put him into Riftstalker, and that would free up a whole lot of points, so you can get everything. But again, there's a big downside to that, which is that you'd give up all your stealth, and you give up your Leeching Poison for Risk Scavenger, which as I've already said, I believe that Leeching Poison's much better. Give up a lot of other stuff too. You'd also give up your 5% damage bonus from Lethal Poison, which is awesome. So it's really tough. It's really tough to make that decision on how to get those extra points out so you can do this at a lower level. But anyway, I've rambled a lot, so let me just go over the actual abilities that you use in combat. So I'm going to Stealth on my bar. Assassinate I never use, I just have it on my bar. It just does damage and gives you combo points, but I prefer the Stun, even though it is quite powerful. Incapacitate's a sap, of course. Then your Stun, obviously this is the one I use most of the time. Expose Weakness, this is a debuff that I always use before I pull. So I'm going to Expose Weakness him, Paralyzing Strike, and then start hitting my combo point abilities. I'm going to alternate, and then when I hit my finisher, it's going to be Compound Attack. And I should probably just show you those tooltips here in a second. And, okay. Yeah, that's fast. Keen Strike is your very basic combo point ability. Use that one. When you use that, it activates 2 alternates. Precision Strike, which is a very powerful hit on a 10-second cooldown that gives you 2 combo points, and also Quick Strike. So what you do is you go Keen, Precision, Keen, Quick. Quick is just like a more powerful version of Keen Strike. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5 combo points like that. Keen, Precision, Keen, Quick. But then after that, your Precision is going to be on cooldown. So instead of Precision, I do the same rotation, except I replace Precision with Puncture. Puncture is an assassin ability. It's less damage than some of your other abilities, but it does give you 2 combo points for only 40 energy, which is very efficient, so I still use it. For your finisher, single target, you have Dauntless Strike. This gives you a 5% crit bonus for your whole raid, so obviously I do use this one. I try to keep this buff up. It's a 60-second buff, so it's not hard at all to keep up. For single targets, I use Deadly Strike for damage if I already have Dauntless up. And then for multiple targets, I use Twin Strike to build combo points and hit 2 targets at once for a lot of damage. And then Combat Attack, which is just amazing, and hits multiple targets for a whole ton of damage. So now that you've seen the abilities, let me just find another group of mobs here. And I'll say the name of the abilities as I use them. Wolf, Wolf, Werewolf. I'm looking for the Savages, or the full hit point ones. This will work since they're right next to each other. I'm going to go Paralyzing Strike. My range interrupt weapon barrage, I'm going to use to pull him. Then when they come in, I'm going to hit Twin Strike, Twin Strike, Twin Strike, Compound. Look how many hits, look how I hit them all for all that. It's amazing. Twin, 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 Reprisal. That's a, oh, I forgot to show you that one, sorry. And then it comes down to 2, so I'm going Twin, Twin, Disengage, Compound, and everything's dead. And I didn't use any cooldowns for that. I usually use at least 1 cooldown when I'm fighting multiple enemies like that, just to get it over with faster. Let's do a single target. Not the, oops, a dot just knocked me out of stealth. Well, screw it, I just want to do stealth. I'm going to charge instead. Too far away. That was weird. Okay. Stun. Okay, let's do a deadly, and then we're going to do keen. Precision. Keen. Quit, and he's dead. There's your reprisal tooltip. When you parry or dodge, it gives you a quick attack back for almost no power. It gives you a combo point, and it gives you a bunch of damage. I love it. And disengage was the stun that is on the same. It's on the same deal. After you parry or dodge, you can use it. Yeah, this is good. Let's grab this guy. Keen, quick, compound. Ooh, this might be tough. So I'm gonna hit Dancing Steel and just annihilate everything. Foul play, precision, keen, deadly. I don't even have. I'm not even maintaining my Dauntless Strike. That's a mistake. Alternate again. There you go. So wasn't a problem. Now, yes, you do have to drink occasionally with this build, unlike the Riftstalker build where you can just go kill something and heal up. But look how fast drinking is. Like, before I can even finish that sentence, I'm already at full. So it's really not a big deal to have to drink occasionally. And drinking doesn't cost you any money either. Barely. Precision, deadly, keen, quick, keen. Oh, sure, let's do a Dauntless and just get my Dauntless buff up. Should be able to stealth now. Savage and a Savage. Expose armor, paralyze, keen, quick, deadly, keen, quick, sure, keen, deadly. There you go. So that's how that works. Very simple. Do the same rotation again here. And sometimes I'll just put precision and puncture back to back when they're almost dead. And in order to get those fast combo points, and then when they die, I'll gain the bonus from combat culmination for 5 points, which is full energy bar and all that. And that's one of the reasons why that Riftstalker subspec is so popular, because you can kill an enemy with 5 combo points and get the bonus from both Rift Scavenger, the heal, and the energy bonus. So you gain, you just fill up both your bars. It's pretty attractive. Now for my current build, I mentioned at the very beginning of the video that the third spec wasn't a big deal. I mainly took this for Shadow Shift, but also after a few more levels, I'll have enough points where I'm going to take some points out of Bladedancer maybe, or I might even take him out of Assassin. I haven't decided, in order to get Unseen Fury, or I might just wait until 50 because I have like 5 more points to get before 50, and then put those points into attack power. So that's obviously quite a nice bonus. Alternatively, I could get Saboteur as a third and put those points into dexterity versus attack power, and because dexterity gives you crit and attack power. But Riftstalker also gives you the Shadow Shift, of course, as well as a passive bonus to your health. You don't really get anything for Sab that's useful for 5 points. You do get, an AoE frag bomb is okay, and you get this slow, but this other stuff you're not really going to use with this spec. So that's why I go with Riftstalker for third instead of Sab. Alternatively, you can go Bard and keep 0 in Bard just for your buff here. If I had the, I don't know, discipline maybe to maintain this buff to keep recasting it every 15 seconds, I probably would do that, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, and it doesn't really affect your leveling that much. Maybe at 50, your group would appreciate it. That's about it. And lastly, you could go Nightblade, and you can get 15% extra damage on your combo point generating abilities. That's really nice, and 15% on your finishers. That's also really nice. It's also a whole lot of points, so it's pretty tough. If you could manage to put at least 8 points, though, you would get the benefit of a 20-meter range sap, which I absolutely love. And I love Nightblade spec in general, but I would really like to have that with this spec instead of the melee range sap that you get with Assassin. But, there you go. Oh, look, something attacked me. So we're going to Twin Strike. This is the half health one over here. Compound attack, reprisal, Twin Strike, Twin Strike, Twin Strike, Twin Strike, compound, and the other guy died first because he had half health. Yep, there you go. That's what that looks like. Very, very fast, very efficient killer. One of the best for Rogue, but I do have some other builds I want to go over as suggested, mid to high level builds. But again, to reiterate, I don't suggest going this right away at 30. I would wait a few levels to get enough points so you can have both Leeching Poison for 20 and Dancing Steel for 31. If you don't get Dancing Steel, if you just go less points in here, I don't know. I guess you could stop at Contra Tempo maybe, or Flash of Steel, or even Blade Tempo. I'm not sure. It's kind of iffy. Maybe you could try to go like half Blade Dancer, then 22 Assassin, 13 Riftstalker. That's kind of a intriguing build. You definitely want Combat Culmination. That's an amazing talent. But you'd be passing up Vivacity, which is another amazing talent. Another Stun. It's tough. It's tough. I have a hard time imagining going Blade Dancer without being full at least 31 points in Blade Dancer. So, all right, well, that's it for the Blade Dancer Assassin. Thanks for watching. This is Cromar with TGN.